Mike's with us in Lynchburg. Hey, Mike in Lynchburg, Virginia. What's up?
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm basically in charge of a lumber operation, and we have about 15 employees. We do roughly $5 million in sales. Purchased the building back in 2019, and we are looking to grow again. We've grown about 5 times so far, and the aspect we're struggling with now is we would like to pay cash for a building. However, as the company has become a little more profitable and gotten larger, we're trying to avoid a very large tax burden as we save compared to possibly financing, and wanted to kind of get some of your thoughts on that.
Hold on. Okay. So you made a lot of money, and it's taxable.
Yes.
And you think by financing the warehouse instead of paying cash for it, it's going to help you with your tax problem.
Well,
How?
So this year we're at about a 35 or 34% tax rate.
Yeah.
And the initial idea was, basically save $600 over a course of 5 years to pay for, a $3 million building.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the amount we had paid in taxes, and I was like, oh man, that's just a lot.
Yeah. And how does financing get rid of the taxes?
It doesn't.
I thought so. Yeah. Not even close. There's no write-off on debt. I mean, you can write off the interest, but that's all.
Yeah, and we'd be paying that off fairly quickly anyways.
I mean, the interest is all that's deductible, right? So if you borrow, you're talking about like $1 million, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's pretend you borrowed $1 million at 10% to make the math easy, okay? I don't know. Let's call it 6%. Okay, you borrowed $1 million at 6%. That's $60,000, right? In interest.
Right.
So you have a $60,000 tax deduction. So you give the bank $60,000, and you lower your income by $60,000. That's what a tax deduction does. So it takes away taxes on $60,000. In a 30% tax bracket, you save $20,000 in taxes. Does that sound right to you?
Right.
So you give the bank 60 to keep from giving the government 20. Where is this smart?
It's not.
Okay, so where's the massive tax burden avoided by financing?
It's not.
Okay. I didn't think so. So welcome to the world of I'm pissed at the government because they take a third of my freaking earnings that they use as legalized theft. Now, I'll go with you on that. But wow, but going to the bank is not going to help you with this problem. It just turns 60 into 20.
Right. So basically, as you've built your career, from the very beginning, you just got crushed from a tax perspective?
Yeah. I've never been able to avoid getting crushed as long as I've made money. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
There's no, this crap in the media that the rich don't pay any taxes is absolute hors d'oeuvres, man. It just is not true, okay? Because they do. I mean, you guys made $1 million. You're giving up $300,000 before you even get to breathe. And you're small business people running a lumber yard in America where we need houses built because we have a housing shortage. But Washington loves small business. Bull, they screw them every day. Congress screws small business more than anybody else with its dadgum tax laws. And there's nothing you can do. You save money in a small business. You take it home in a small business. Either way, you get taxed. There's nothing you can do about it other than, because any tax write-off is always a deduction unless you get some kind of weird credit. But even with the credit, it's a 1-for-1. It hasn't saved you. You're giving up $100,000 to save $100,000. It doesn't really do anything, So it's still a swap and spit. But oh, God, it's so maddening. I'm with you, Mike. It aggravates me, but it doesn't force you to finance your warehouse when you have the money to pay cash for it. Net of tax, you got to do it. And then you're going to continue. What's going to happen when you do that is you're going to control more and more of the variables in your life, because now the landlord is you. And now on your expansion, if there's a slowdown in the marketplace and you're not able to sell as much, your rent is not going to put you out of business because you is the rent, right?
Right. Then you just reduce the rent.
If you have to.
Well, yeah, and I kind of jumped into this thing without even really paying attention when it was purchased, and as I've gotten deeper and we've grown a lot larger, now I'm like, oh man, I don't know what I'm talking about. I need to start to learn. So.
Yeah, it's, so Sub S, LLC, or sole proprietor, all are taxed on retained earnings every year. So that's what I mean by Congress screws the small business people. We do not have a tax loophole or a tax protection for the small business owner to hold money to grow their business. They didn't take it home and consume it. And so it's not in that sense income, but under the current tax code, every money you pull back, every dollar you pull back to put in retained earnings is taxable as if you took it home and went to Florida with it, So, or wherever it is you went to spend money. I don't know what Florida, but anyway. But it's just, I share your aggravation. And every April 15th, I'm pissed off perpetually around that 2-week period of time. Nobody wants to be around me because I know how many zeros I'm sending those bozos up there who can't find their butt with both hands. And it aggravates me to no end. And I empathize with you, but I don't have a solution because there's not one in the tax code. The only thing, and what happens is entrepreneurs get confused. They go, oh, I'm going to buy a bunch of crap I don't need and business expense it. Well, then you're trading $60,000 for $20,000. Or I'm going to give the bank some interest because that's deductible. But then you're trading $60,000 for $20,000. And it's a dumb trade. You're trading dollars for quarters. And we don't want to do that. So, no, we don't want to go that way. Man, I'm so sorry. I wish I had a great answer for you to avoid massive tax burdens. The only one I got is vote. That's it. So stir up trouble and vote. Legalize trouble. Don't do something illegal. I never recommend doing illegal stuff.